No more white interior for the capstone. A bigger gas tank is standard. No recovery points or tow hooks for the off road trucks. Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus HV Talk. We have a full listing of the big changes that's happening for the 2026 Toyota Tundra. While I was hopeful, while I was crossing my fingers, while I really wanted big changes for the 2026 Tundra because I want to buy one and I want to have a better experience I did with my 2020 my because I want to buy one. I want to see what they've improved on from when I had the 2022 Tundra. This year, not meant to be. But I can tell you what's new this year. So if you're out there shopping for a Tundra, here's what you need to know. And I will tell you, there's probably other enthusiast channels going to go over every nitpicky detail. But I want to just give you the big details on the Tundra. Now, this 2026 model year represents 2 years since the big recall happened on the gasoline powered Tundras. A lot of those had new engines put in because of debris that was in the manufacturing process. That's been sorted out. We had a turbo wastegate issue when they first launched it. That's been sorted out. And so now we're in year 4 with the 3.4 liter V6 engine. Comes in a gasoline and a hybrid engine. The hybrid has a lot of torque for towing. The gasoline has a lot of power. Both powertrains a lot of power. They're turbocharged engines. Since the recall and since the turbo wastegate issue came out, we haven't had any issues really that much sense. Yes, there'll be an oddball 25 model here and there has an issue, but that's across the board. I mean, there's every brand's got a lemon here and there, and that has been consistent for the last 15 years. Even the 5.7 liter V8 had an issue here and there. Things happen. It's just automotive. But here we got for the updates. So this is the new Tundra capstone interior. It's a gray. They call it, I'll give you the official term. The interior used to be white. I can tell you from experience, every white capstone I was in looked dirty. I think from factory, they looked great. But every press zone I was in, as far as a vehicle I reviewed, every media event I went to was dirty. It just wasn't great. I don't know what they were thinking to do white interior. The Kelty Design Studio they use in California does some great designs of Toyota vehicles. They've done some really sexy vehicles. On the Tundra, they've had some really criticisms with their vehicles. I've been very critical. The rear bumper doesn't have a step, the front end, the interior choices, and they fixed this. They addressed this. They went the darker interior. I think that's a good fix. Thank goodness. But so it looks a lot better. It still looks luxurious to me. But you don't have to go white on a truck. I don't know what they're thinking. Then we have the Tundra Tier D Pro gets the new seats. These are the photo from the Tacoma. These are the ISO dynamic seats. They have built-in shocks, and what they do is as you're off-roading, you tend to move around in the seat, right? Because you're hitting bumps and stuff. These seats with the shocks built in keep you at a consistent head movement, so you're not moving back and forth. They keep the shocks move with the truck, and the seats move the truck, so that way you're not bouncing around the seats. I think I said that right. Basically, you're not bouncing around. Truck's doing all the bouncing. You are nice and level in the seats. They didn't work in the Tacoma because the Tacoma basically became a 2-seater in the crew cab truck. The Tundra has a lot more space. This makes total sense. Why did it come out this way? Well, the Tacoma came out after the Tundra did. So it made sense for them to be able to put this in the Tundra afterward. So as you can see with this photo, the rear seats of the Tacoma are pretty close. It's really like that in real life, really tight back there. So, but in the Tundra, you have a lot more space and it'll be a lot better. This makes a lot of sense. I think that is a big hit there. 2 big hits. I'll give you 2 big fixes there. Okay, good deal. Larger gas tank is now standard. So now, instead of having a 22-gallon tank, which is pretty minuscule for a full-size truck, you now get a 32.2-gallon tank. That's should be standard. I remember doing Tundra headquarters in my first jobs in the industry, and that was going on 15 years ago. And back then, they offered a tiny gas tank, and a larger gas tank wasn't available. Then they finally offered a larger gas tank available. Then went back to a smaller gas tank. It's like, I don't know why it keeps going back and forth with this, but 30-gallon gas tanks should be standard across the board of all full-size trucks, especially like somebody like me lives out west, gas stations aren't around every corner. You need longer range, and especially towing. You need more fuel for longer distances. It's nice to have. So 32.2 gallon is standard. Gas doesn't weigh that much. I just googled it. It was like six pounds per gallon. Somebody else told me it was like 2 pounds. I'm not sure about 2 pounds, but so you give up 70 pounds of payload. Who cares if I can get an additional 10 gallons of fuel? Big fan. New wave maker color for TRD Pro. We've seen this before. You could look at the lighting in this photo, right? So it's kind of dark and cloudy. This one's dark and cloudy. The top photo here is dark and cloudy. Why? Because in the bright sunlight, it looks like bubble gum. It does. It's a weird color. And in dark and cloudy, it's more like a darker. I guess I said darker blue in the story. Maybe I gotta say that. It's more like a brighter blue, I should say, in the story. But it's a unique color. I will say that. It stands out. This is something that Toyota 3 syllables from Toyota does every year. They have a unique color for the TRD Pro models, makes them stand out. And here you go. Stands out. Okay. The TRD Rally package, this is what we're seeing, this heritage package with the three colors, the yellow, orange, and red, can be now available with the lift kit and tow technology package. The TRD 3-inch lift kit, raising higher in the air, allowing for larger wheels and tires. And secondly, you can get it with the available tow technology package that adds a trailer backup guide, straight path assist, and integrated trailer brake controller to the truck. I'll give you a funny story of the straight path assist in a little bit. So no fixes for known issues. Dun, dun, dun. This is kind of the ugh. So you can see in this TRD Pro off-roading, there's no recovery points in the front at all. Why? There's an air dam on some of these Tundra models. I don't think the TRD Pro has an air dam, but there's an air dam that goes up and down for better aerodynamics at highway speeds. And because that does, they can't have these tow hooks going back in. One reason. Second reason, the safety team at Toyota told the engineering team they can't have tow hooks because in a frontal crash situation, that tow hook cannot move a millimeter. It's got to be so strong it can't move at all. Well, when they frontal crashed these Tundras, that safety hook moved a little bit. The tow hook moved a little bit. So the safety team overrode the engineering team. Engineering team got pissed off about it. They fought back and forth. They didn't win. Engineering lost. Toyota is a very conservative company. Conservative. They're very conservative. They went through lots of lawsuits. Remember the unintended acceleration lawsuits? Yeah, they got pissed off about that. They got tired of being sued, so they lost. Tacoma has a tow hook and recovery point in the front, and that's further back in behind some of the structure in the front. So that's one thing I think the Tacoma engineers learned from the Tundra engineers, saw them fight the battle, lose the battle. They said, okay, we'll do this. They buried the recovery point further back in so they could pass that frontal crash test from the Toyota safety team. Not federal, not national, international safety. No. This was a Toyota decision. People get this all confused all the time. Toyota made this decision not to have recovery points on their trucks. Engineering hates it. The truck guys at Toyota hate it. The safety team wanted it. Lawyers wanted it. That's what the problem is. Now you can get an aftermarket kit. There's a company here I linked to that makes hooks that go in there. You basically take the air dam off and you cut a little hole in it and you put them in there, and that's how it works. And you run these bars in, you bolt them to the frame. Because you can do aftermarket because the Toyota safety team didn't get involved in that. No, boo-boo, got around you. Okay, there's also a list of other issues that a bunch of Toyota owners shared with me. I made a whole list for those guys. They came to me and we put it all together so we can share with Toyota to address some things, window trim, seat trim, cracking issues, infotainment issues as well. So hoping we address those in future model years. Okay, so that's what's going on there. So now the straight path assist, I was going to tell you that funny story because I was talking with the Toyota team when it launched. The straight path assist, when you have like launching a boat at the boat dock, you can press a button and the truck backs up, straight path assist goes right back and docks the boat. Well, they did that because some of the Toyota engineers ride a boat dock, and one of the guys noticed an older man sitting up in the trees with a lawn chair and a case of beer. They went up and asked him what's going on, and he says, "This is the best comedy all day. I just sit up here and watch people try to launch boats, crack a beer, and laugh my ass off." So They were like, okay, we'll make this straight path assist help those poor folks launch boats at boat docks and not be laughed at. So there you go. There is the real world purpose of that technology. Hey, for more fun stories or anecdotes or things I say, check out the other videos and channel up over here. Website down below as well. Pickuptrucktalk.com. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you down the road.